here. It's always a beautiful day in Palmdale. We had a lot of wind and rain yesterday, and it's going to bring a ton of poppies, I think, this year. So it's great. Welcome to come out on a beautiful morning today. We're going to be dedicating the city's 5th neighborhood house. And it's a big step for us today. You know, if you go back about 15 years ago, we came up with the idea of a neighborhood house. And the city manager at that time kind of looked at us a little funny and thought, well, what the heck, sounds interesting. And we went to council and said, hey, we want to have a neighborhood house. And the council, our city council said, sounds like a great idea. And that's the support we get from our city council to do these types of things. And now here we are 15 years later dedicating our 5th neighborhood house. And there's a lot of things that happen in these houses. A lot of people come together that really make it happen. And you're going to meet some of those people. But it's not only the houses, but it's the community around the houses that gather together, and they really make things happen. A lot of volunteers, a lot of coordination. I can tell you, with this house, this was not an easy feat. This house sat burned up for a number of years, and we had to negotiate to get control of the site. And the construction process wasn't the easiest. It was set on fire one time during construction. It had been vandalized, but you know, we didn't shrug away from the project. We kept reaching out to the community. We called our partners to come and help us, and they came out, and so here we are today. So this is just a big mission that we have here as a city, throughout our city, to go and to find need, and to try and direct our service, our energy, and our resources to meeting the need in our community. And then one of those things is that, you know, a city that's truly connected is a safer city for all of us. When the residents feel connected, they feel a part, they feel investment in their community. And our big mission as staff in our department for neighborhood services and as a city is we're going to reach out and get our entire community connected to what's going on and let you be a part of creating that. So with that, we're going to start with our lineup. We have some awesome people here to talk to us today, and that first awesome person is our Mayor, Jim Ledford. Mayor.
Well, thanks, Mike. Good morning, everybody. Are we ready for the day? We're going to have a good time here today. I just want to let everybody know that these neighborhood houses really do become kind of an epicenter of community. This is where we come together. This is where neighborhoods come together. This is where we get to meet people that we may have lived with for years, but this is where we're going to meet. So the effect that they have on community is great. And I think the big effect that we always look for is, you know, what's the safety going on in the neighborhood? And what this house will bring certainly a greater level of safety. So we know that our crime rate has gone down in 20 years. Matter of fact, we're probably as low as we've ever been here in the city of Palmdale today. But you know what? That's a great accomplishment, and everybody needs to pat themselves on the back. But if we don't feel, yes, let's do that. Some would say, though, we're not there yet. And if we don't feel safe, we got more work to do. We need more people we need to engage. So we got a great momentum. We got a great standard that we're at right now, the lowest crime rate probably in 20, 25 years in our city. I'm not satisfied yet. Are you? Heck no. We're going to continue to do better. We're going to do better with our sheriff, and that's what we have here, a great partnership with our sheriff's department, and that's why we're doing so well. So what we're doing here is the combination of community, city, and sheriff's department coming together. That's what makes our whole PAC program work, and that's the genesis of all this. So part of what we're doing today is we're celebrating those partnerships, and certainly we want to bring together and recognize people that bring assets. They bring an appetite for involvement, for wanting to make a difference, to pay it forward, if you want to say that. Whatever the cause, you know, it's those type of people we need to continue to look out for and support and invite to be a part of this whole process, because that's what makes our community so great. So what we want to do at this point is recognize that, recognize this great accomplishment today and what it means to our future, and certainly want to thank Mike Miller, who is, he looks cool and calm up here, but let me tell you, there's a lot of chaos going on in this guy's head, and he's get to manage, you know, a whole system here of moving parts that really function quite well. Everybody's effort has produced great results, And Mike, thank you for that. You and your department, good job. Neighborhood service. So, I'd like to do at this time, I've got a couple individuals I want to bring forward. Somebody has been very active in our house right now, and let's talk about one individual. Well, better yet, let's introduce a couple people I don't want to forget. I'm going to start with Richard Cook, representing Sharon Runner, Senator Sharon Runner. Jennifer Navarro from the Palmdale Chamber of Commerce is here, obviously. Those are the people I want to recognize. I think most everybody's got a role, so you're going to hear the rest of them. But at this time, I'm going to bring up the lady that really does a lot of the legwork, a lot of the day-to-day, a lot of the chaos. In Mike's head, is probably coming from her. But she's making all this happen. And ladies and gentlemen, this lady is phenomenal. She's done a great job for the city of Palmdale for a number of years. This is just another success in her portfolio, I guess, of great successes. I'm building her up, but I'm really not, because she does this all the time. And that is Terry Lee Wheeler is our housing coordinator. Let's give her a great Palmdale welcome. Terry Lee, good job.
Well, I kind of consider myself as just kind of the person on the background, and my goal is to make it easy for anybody that wants to use the neighborhood houses, easy for them to participate. And my job is to bring together a lot of community partners. And what I'd like to do is, everybody that's here from Victory Outreach, could you raise your hand? This is what makes a neighborhood house happen. Yes. This is what makes neighborhood houses happen. So thank you, Victory Outreach. The neighborhood houses have just really grown, and it's been a pleasure, a blessing, and an honor to be a part of it. So yes, I just, make the chaos happen. So it's been a privilege, and I wouldn't have traded it for anything. So the neighborhood houses, we have, as I've explained to a couple people this morning, we have Gabriel's House, which is an awesome program. And you'll get to see some of the kids this morning. You'll get to see the guitar program that the Captain Chaos is one of the instructors on, but Lisa Lozano and her folklorico dancers are here as well this morning. But you also, that focuses on arts and music for our kids in our neighborhoods, free to them. Donors give to that so they can have instruments and shoes and whatever they need. These are kids that ordinarily would not have the opportunity to have those kind of classes and instruction. But we also have our 4 neighborhood houses, which are dotted throughout the city and provide after-school programs, homework help, and snacks to kids in the neighborhoods, and a toddler program in the mornings we say 3 to 5, but all we ask is that they're potty ready, okay? Changing diapers, a lot of us are past that, and we're just, okay, that's what we ask. But then I go out and I beg and plead for community partners to come in and provide programs, whether it's healthy cooking, anger management, gang, or youth that are at-risk youth programs. We have a plethora of that going on, and it's going to be here as well. So it's really our community partners that step up and say, yes, we want to use the house and provide to the community program. So I thank them for making the neighborhood houses work. That's what does it. I just put the nails in the wall, or make sure the house is open, or make sure the keys are there, or the lights are on. So I thank them so much for that. Right now, I'm going to turn it over to Captain Dennis Neer, who I'm going to hook up for a program in the neighborhood houses. He just doesn't know it yet. So, and let him talk about his commitment, which the sheriffs are just awesome, and I love them dearly because they help us so much. So, Captain Neer.
Good morning, everyone. How are we doing this morning? Beautiful day, beautiful day. I'm Captain Dennis Neer with the Palmdale Sheriff Station, and on behalf of the Sheriff's Department, it is certainly our honor and our privilege to be here this morning in dedication to the ceremony and the ribbon cutting event to recognize Deputy Richard Hammack. Let me give you a little bit of background about Deputy Richard Hammack. In May of 1992, when I was a young deputy and so were my two partners here, Deputy Richard Hammack was working on a narcotics team during a search warrant operation where he was killed in the line of duty while serving the residents of Palmdale. And during that incident, Deputy Richard Hammack lost his life. However, I believe his legacy has lived on during the past 23 years. And it's dedications like the Hammack House, the Hammack Center, and many other community events that enable his legacy to live on. I think it's really important to maintain the teamwork that the Sheriff's Department has with the City of Palmdale, the communities that we serve, in order to maintain a safe community and keep the crime rate, as the mayor mentioned, at an all-time low. So I want to thank all of you for your contributions, and I also want to thank our deputies who are here today. So let's give everyone a hand. I also want to thank Mayor Jim Ledford for his leadership and his vision for having this Hammack House dedicated here today. So thank you, Mayor. We appreciate that. In closing, I just want to say that as we move forward, we need to continue working together as a community. Sir Robert Peel is who many consider the architect of modern policing. And what he said is the police are the public and the public are the police. And think about that for a minute. Think about how we've seen a change within the City of Palmdale, which is where I've lived for the past 33 years, and which many of you have resided here for many years as well. Think about the change that we've seen due to the dedication of our residents, of our local law enforcement, of our elected officials, of the City of Palmdale, and I want to thank Mike Miller as well. And as we move forward, I think the Hammack House will be something that we're all going to be proud of, because it's going to give the youth in our community opportunities that they haven't had in the past. And that is something that Richard was very proud of. It was well known that Richard was engaged with the youth within the communities that we serve. And so as we move forward, let's not forget Richard's legacy, and let's dedicate that legacy to the youth within our community and to keeping our community safe. Thank you, and God bless.
Now, it is a lot of chaos, but and I'll admit that, Mayor, it is a lot of chaos that goes on. But you know, our mayor and council, they have to look over the whole city. For me, I get to go do a lot of the fun stuff. But I'll tell you one thing: when you see Terry Lee Wheeler up here and she says what she says, but you have to understand, I see our staff, like everybody else, are paid so much for the work they do during the week. And I have staff in my department that are there at their desk at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. We work 40 hours in 4 days. I see some of my staff working 50 and 60 hours in 4 days. Terry Lee is out here on Fridays. She's out here on Saturdays. She's out here on Sundays. I just told her husband the other day when I saw him, I said, "Could you please tell her to stay home, get some rest?" But she's dedicated, and there are people out here in this community who are as dedicated as we are, but the countless hours that Terry Lee spends with these houses. The other thing to remember too, these houses are open based on a program that's provided for us as a city to be able to operate and staff the houses. If we didn't have that support, we don't know what we would do. I don't know how Terry Lee would be at 5 different houses in one day. I know she would figure it out. But it's not only the houses, it's managing those folks. So There's a lot there. Also, too, that chaos, when you start to bring that chaos together with our Captain Neer, and the entire deputies in our city that work this station, when we've seen crazy stuff going on throughout the nation, and we've seen it, right? That's not happening here at our home. That's because, again, the community is engaging with our law enforcement, engaging with our city. We're working as a team. And I'm going to spill the beans just a little bit, Captain. I got to do it because I like to brag about stuff. Unofficially, this is completely unofficial. I'm kind of doing the Donald Trump thing here. I'll stop. Unofficially, potentially, possibly, for the month of February, we went below 200 for a crime stat for the city. Okay? Our deputies live here in our community, and they beg for our community to engage with them, and our community's been doing that. Because you know what? I want to walk down any street in our city and feel safe, and our deputies are helping us to do that. So, Terry Lee, Captain, thank you so much for what you do. They really bring the chaos together and make it relevant. So, another person involved in this chaos is a great gentleman. He inspires people in this community. He leads a team that I call the silent servants in our community. You know, there's the people who go out in the community and they want to get in front of the camera all the time, and they want to get in front of every microphone they can. But then there's those silent servants, those silent soldiers in our community that they bring so much good. And I want to introduce Pastor Mike Gonzalez from Victory Outreach Church.
Wow, thank you so much, Mike. I just want to say thank you to all of you, Lee, Mayor, and Mike Miller, of course, and Terry Lee, that they do a tremendous job. This is why it makes it easier for us, the church, Victory Outreach, when we go out into the communities. We have the resources, we have places to be able to send people, to be able to take people to it. And you know, without them, or without the type of leadership that Palmdale has, how many agree with me that we have a great leadership here in the city of Palmdale? That without that, many of these things wouldn't be possible. So I want to just say thank you to all of the leadership here, Mayor and Mike Miller and Terry Lee, and all those that are involved in making these homes available, putting all the programs together and all the structure. And I really believe that our crime rate has dropped because of so much community involvement. Not only people within the community, but also the churches, our church, Victory Outreach, and other churches and ministries as well that get involved in giving back and supporting and helping those that are desperately in need. We as a church, Victory Outreach, we go out into the community and we tell people that there is an answer and that there is hope and that we can change. And if people change, then that makes our city change. How many would agree with me with that? Amen? And people change it. And we want to offer that. We want to offer that. That's what we bring. We bring change. We bring hope. We bring peace. So that this way we can walk down every street, like Mike says, without any fear, without any tremble, without any problems. And that we can go and we can have a great time wherever we go, whatever park we go. So I just want to say thank you, Mike, for this opportunity that you've given myself and to be able to come out and just share a few thoughts. Thank you so much. God bless you. Remember, keep that smile, keep working together in unity, and we're going to continue to make this city, this great city of Palmdale, a great place to call home. Thank you.
Now this is the fun part. I get to tell stories about each person after they've sat down, right, Mayor? That's the trick, right? I'll tell you one thing about Victory Outreach. I'm trying to, there's so many members of Victory Outreach, Pastor. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. I go places on the weekends or during the week, and somebody out of the blue finds me and gives me a giant hug. And guess what? It's a member of the Victory Outreach team. So I'm still trying to learn everybody's name. Pastor, you probably know everybody's name. I'm still trying to learn everybody. But out of the blue, they got to be the biggest group of huggers I've ever met. And I can tell you, there's some times during the week that I appreciate that hug because sometimes you just want to go hide. So hey, this is about need also too. It's not always about taking. It's about need. What's the need in our community? And one of the things that we're focusing on as a city, we're focusing on so many different things, as the mayor will always tell you, but it's all important, but our veterans. And we're seeing for my generation, I was raised by, my father served in Europe in World War II. And the stories that he told just were terrible, if anything. And you wonder, how does a kid come back from that? How does a kid from Jackson Hole, Wyoming go do the things he had to do and see, and then come home and be told, okay, get a job, you know, start raising your family, doing those things. And now we're seeing, you know, my children, their generation going and serving our country, and, you know, they've done a huge service for us. We're here today saying what we think, doing what we want to do because of what our service people do for us and have done for us continually. So with that, we have a huge focus in our city to get housing for our veteran families. It's a priority. I can tell you right now, hopefully this year everything's lining up. We have a $48 million development project that's going to focus on veteran families. It's called The Colony, right over here by Corson Park. It's going to have a public art gallery. It's going to have art labs. It's going to have a bicycle and wheelchair lab to do repairs for folks. We're going to redo the pool in Corson Park. We're going to bring that back online for our families. But most important, we're going to find housing for our veteran families. We have 50 single-family homes that will start construction this year, owner-occupied homes for our veteran families. And today, a big part of what's happening is that the unit that's above this neighborhood house is going to go to a veteran family. So you can't do this on your own. We need great partners. Mental Health America is one of our partners. We've been working with them. This isn't always easy to put together, but we're working, and I want to introduce Lisa DAWSON, who's here today to represent Mental Health America.
Okay. Good morning. My name's Lisa DAWSON. I'm here representing Mental Health America's Military Resource Center, Operation Helping Homecoming. We're so pleased to be a partner of the City of Palmdale in their efforts to house our veteran neighbors here. What better way to honor their service? This community is such a wonderful community. We appreciate all the love and support that is provided to our veterans. And something special is about to happen.
Okay, Mayor. Yes, we have a special presentation from the mayor. So.
What we have here is the key to the house, to the Hammack neighborhood house. It's my pleasure to present this to Lisa DAWSON, Mental Health America. Good job. She's going to help get our veterans housed in the City of Palmdale. Yeah.
I would like to acknowledge that we do have some of our staff here, our housing specialists who work to house veterans here in Palmdale and Lancaster, and also a veteran family with us. If I could get you guys to wave and stand up, that would be terrific. We're working together for you, and thank you so much. We're very honored for this opportunity.
So again, you're learning a lot about what's going on in the city. And I gotta tell you, that barbecue's really starting to distract me. So, but we'll get through it, right? So, crime is down in our community. It's the partnerships coming together. But another need, along with housing our veterans, are our homeless families here in our community. I just visited the city of Phoenix last week and met with their neighborhood services department. They have as many as 68,000 homeless veterans in their community. It's hard for me to even wrap my head around that. How do you even start? Here in our community, again, because of our partners, we just did our homeless count. And I've been told by those, a lot of volunteers that are here today that went out and did that count, that our numbers are down from what they were last year. Now, we don't know that officially, but that was kind of the feeling. We do have low homeless numbers here in our community. But again, it's our community partners that give us the resources to be able to help those families. I can tell you, Victory Outreach literally recruits people off the street and finds them programs. House of Deliverance, which is a great church here in our community, they feed the homeless during the month. They also take the homeless off the street. I call it recruiting off the street because that's what they do. They help people find the channels. And we're going to continue our effort as a city and with all of our partners to handle this. But again, you have to have great partners. And I want to introduce NICOLE MOSER, who's from the county, who's helping us with our homeless issue, bringing solutions, helping us better understand how we address those issues in our community. And NICOLE, why don't you come on up and say a few words? She is tremendously a great person in our community. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is NICOLE MOSER. I'm from the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority. I have to say, I grew up about 2 miles down the road here in Palmdale, and I remember as a kid, we all used to open up our front doors and barbecue in the front yard and ride our bikes down the street. And it's just an honor and an absolute pleasure to see everyone here today gathered doing those same things that I remember as a child growing up. It's amazing. I have the pleasure of being able to work all over LA County, but there's no community like the Antelope Valley where we can all get together, where you have your city leadership, you have your law enforcement, you have your service providers, where we can all come together, break bread, celebrate, and work together towards solutions in our community. Last year we had about 2,816 homeless people counted in the Antelope Valley region. And I truly, truly believe that we're all working towards solutions together, and it's because of cities like Palmdale and partnerships like the Supportive Services for Veterans Families program that we're going to see significant changes in our community. And you're not just building houses, you're creating homes for people. So this is going to be a home for someone, and a house that kids are going to be able to come to and build memories. And there's nothing like it in our community, so I'd like to just give everyone a round of applause. Thank you.
I don't know, did Rossi Johnson make it here yet? Well, okay, we have someone in his place. So, Youth Build, again, another huge partner in our community. I'm going to brag about Youth Build a little bit before. Come on up. Come on, get up. No, come on up here. We're going to have representatives speak. But for those of you, I tell this story, I'm going to make it really brief, but 8 years ago, Trish Jones calls me up and tells me about Youth Build. So Rossi Johnson calls me up and he tells me about Youth Build, and I thought, yeah, right. You got kids that'll come out and really work. Well, our second neighborhood house, he brought out 12 young adults enrolled in Youth Build back in 2007, and for 2 days we swung sledgehammers and we filled up. You all know what those large 40-yard containers are, roll-off containers, how big those things are. We filled up 8 of those in 2 days. And we turned around a house with Youth Build that was a terrible drug house, catty corner from Tumbleweed Elementary School, and that's now a neighborhood house. That relationship with Youth Build has grown to them constructing the Dream Center where emancipated youth can find housing. They're now building duplexes, and they're about to acquire their permanent campus right here in this neighborhood down on 9th Street East. That's huge. For an organization that had 17 students out in Little Rock, the great thing, and the mayor will say this, the greatest thing, you ask some of the wealthiest people in the world, they'll tell you the one thing that they have is to find value. And as a community, we're constantly looking for value in our community, and we're filled with it. Youth Build was one of those groups that nobody was tapping, but we found value in what they do for our young adults, because they graduate 60 young adults a year with their high school education, and they also train them in some type of a trade to go out and make a living and to provide for their future. So, take it away.
Thank you, Mike. Good morning, family. How's everybody doing? Good, good. I want to thank Mayor Lafford and Mike and for the rest of the community and yourselves for just allowing us the privilege to serve along with you. My name is LOVELL FLEMING. I'm with Antelope Valley Youth Build, kind of represent Rossi and Olivia Johnson. And so I remember when I first started working here, one of our community service events was right here. And we had to level out the ground, just a whole, it didn't look like what it looks like now. But a lot of the students, I'm so proud of them because they came and labored to help bring about this beautiful thing. And one thing I love about being in the city of Palmdale, whenever you see something growing and getting better, you're part of something that's alive. Anything that's alive is growing. And so I want to thank the City of Palmdale, Mayor Laffer, for the opportunity to be a part of something that's getting bigger, bigger, and better, and that's changing lives. And so we thank you. Thank you.
So I better stick to the program here. So, did we have some special presentations? Can we do those now, John? Looking for John? Mayor? Come on up. Yeah, let's do them now before we do the ribbon cutting. Okay, I don't want to get in trouble with John.
Matter of fact, we do have a special presentation from our state senator, Sharon Runner. We have Richard Cooks with us this morning. He's going to make that presentation.
Thank you for having the California State Senator and her office come up here and speak. I don't know if you realize that, but Palmdale is growing, and it's growing the right way. It's growing with more businesses, less crime, and that only happens when you have good leadership. Mayor Ledford, Mike, and their city council have brought to you many, many great things in the past few months. And where it starts with you. It starts building communities like this, building 5 homes that build strong neighborhoods, that build safer communities. This is just a small token of appreciation from the California State Senate. We thank Mayor Ledford, we thank the council for doing everything they're doing in Palmdale, and you should too. So thank you, Mayor.
All right, so what we all came here for is a ribbon cutting.
4, 3,